Good evening. As we begin our online portion of our class, you pretty much have the second half of December uh, to do the modules 1 and probably parts of modules 2 and 3 if you have time. And I strongly advise that before we get started in January. I wanted to give you a brief overview of what the postings, what to do, and so on, so that you know how to navigate the website. Do the videos, the podcasts, and so on. It's already partly in the syllabus overview that I posted earlier, but I wanted to hone in a little bit on module 1, 2, and 3 information that I posted to give you heads up. And pretty much you can work on all of it as we approach our January meeting times. Remember that in January we only have 3 weeks. It's really very condensed time frame. However, this class is a full 3 credit course which requires what's called 36 contact hours, which we still have to do the work, just much more condensed. So I'm trying to give it to you early enough so that you're not feeling too stressed in January, and at least do part of the work right now. So if you go to weekly sessions on Sakai, first I posted a module 1 material, right? So if you click on the module 1, um, first if you go to discussion questions on assigned readings, and you can see that here I say to be prepared for quiz 1 and the final. Now, quiz 1, remember, is coming up. There's going to be 2 quizzes in the final. All of them will be online. If you go to assignments, you'll see actually, if you go to, I'm sorry, not to assignments. If you go to gradebook, you will see quiz 1, and it's due January 11th. I'm going to give you 3 days to do it. It's due January 11th. And so, this should be ideally prepared before the January 11th time frame. First, I'm giving you, I give you this reading on disclosure and financial regulation, which is available here. It's a paper. Again, you shouldn't be doing, don't stress over it too much. It's meant more as an overview. It's an introductory overview course. So don't get bogged down in technicalities. Try to, and I'm giving you some questions to think about. So why do we need disclosure regulation? How does mandatory disclosure regulation protect investors? What is meant by problems of bound rationale, disclosure overload? What is meant by managerial self-dealing? How does it relate to agency costs? I'm not looking for long answers. I mean, what I'm looking for is for you to get from this reading just basic general idea. I'll try to come back to these questions in the very first time we meet on January 5th and to elaborate on them. But I do want you to read read up on that and sort of try to get a better understanding. There is an article on financial regulation I asked you to read. And so, again, some very basic questions, basic ideas from the article you need to think about. If you go back to table of contents, then there's some, these are the questions that we just looked at are on readings. And there's questions on individual podcasts that you need to listen to. First one is on Luigi Zingales' podcast. The nice part about it is if you actually go to the website or the podcast, even if I do encourage you to listen to it, that you shouldn't listen to it, it's much more enjoyable. But if you want to just sort of quickly look through it, there is the transcript given in the bottom, right? It's sort of of the podcast in the text, and you can read it too. I mean, it's something that, if it helps you, do it. But I mean, I always like to listen to these things. They're much more enjoyable when you hear it. And so try to think about these questions. Again, I'm not asking for like, essay long answers, but these ideas, I'm going to test you on them. They're very simple multiple choice questions. So, you try to think about it. Again, I'm going to try to come back to it in that first class. And pretty much all of them are here. Again, my goal in this is not, there's a lot of hours. I mean, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of video here, if not more, right? We need to meet those contact hours. So you do need to watch it. You do need to try to listen to it. It's a compensation for not having face-to-face classes. That's why you get the credits for it. But on the other hand, I'm not looking for, very technical, knowledge from this. I'd rather want you to get a big picture, try to get a big picture out of it. So if you look at the questions, that's what they sort of try to address. So try to look through those questions, try to get some sense of them. And that's what, hopefully it will, if you do a thorough job with it, if you go through them and think about them and do listen to this, it will reflect in your quiz score. Then you have, of course, in module 2, we're talking about banking regulation. Of course, the big, here you have to again take a look. There is, the videos from Ben Bernanke's presentation on the role of Federal Reserve in financial crisis. Again, the nice part about it is that if you actually go to the syllabus and the links, the information to Ben Bernanke's presentation is given in here, right? So here's the actual YouTube videos, and total 5 lectures here. But if you want something more condensed than those long videos, they're actually amazing videos. I highly, anybody who's interested in the topic should watch them. He's an amazingly good speaker, and I learned a lot from doing it, and I think you'll learn a tremendous amount from him. It's really a blessing that he had done this. But it's also, if you link on this link here, if you click on the link here, they give you, in fact, all the slides, right? So you have all the notes, and so if you're one of those people that likes to go through the notes, notes are great. Excellent notes gives you, pretty much answers to all these questions. So fine. I mean, if you want to work through the notes, I'm okay with that too. So let's go back to our. Also, I give you. There's some additional podcasts. I mean, if you go back to the syllabus, it'll tell you which podcasts have to be prepared for a second quiz, and then there's some others that are additional that you need to finish up sometime before the final exam. And so there's some questions on those. And again, those are a little more technical, so I don't expect them to do them right away. But you need to listen to them before the final exam and try to think about those questions. Go to module 3. I mean, obviously there are my videos now on PCAOB, and again, sort of very straightforward questions on if you watch those videos and on PCAOB, what it does, what its role, how it does it, inspection process, and so on. And at the ACC, the same thing. Again, one of the things with the ACC is that there's Whittington multiple choice questions, and those are available if you go to eReserves. Those are available at here, right here. Those you need to work on them for the final. You don't need to work on them for the second quiz, which is the one that can cover SEC. And again, very straightforward questions about different kinds of things about the SEC, different offices, different regulations, things to think about, and that's what's going to be on the second quiz. And finally, there are the questions on Quartz readings. Quartz, of course, is the assigned textbook. One moment. Here, I just wanted, in case you guys some of you didn't get it, I wanted you to see it. Here's the textbook that, it's a short book. It's called Financial Regulation and Compliance. It's a very nice book. It's actually, very readable, written not technical at all. Talks about, how compliance regulation works, how the SEC works, how there's other regulatory agencies work. self-regulatory agencies. So I've assigned some readings from it, and so I'm asking you. So there's some questions posted on them. Okay. You may notice that there's quite a few. I mean, if you go to the e-reserves, e-reserves, um, that's where the other readings are posted. They're the ones that are available to you for free. Um, while I didn't post the questions on all the readings yet, for example, I didn't have a chance yet to post questions on Dodd-Frank Act and other stuff. You'll notice that maybe there are some chapters that are posted for which there's no questions, and those are just mainly more for your information. So there's more readings posted than there are questions, and so if you don't see some readings have questions for them, it's mainly just for your general development. I'm not going to put this on the exam, but I haven't yet had a chance, in particular for the fourth module. I haven't really posted anything yet, and I'll be posting that a little bit later, and so there'll be more questions and readings. Again, I want to emphasize that you know, this is an overview class, and my whole goal here is that you have a general understanding of um, big ideas. I'm not looking for, you know, pages of writing. I'm not looking for, you're going to get multiple, these quizzes and the exam will be multiple choice. It will be based largely on pretty much those questions that I posed, right? My final will be very heavily based on within the Module 24 Federal Securities Acts and other things, Module 4 questions. But, you know, the questions that I posed are really meant to sort of make sure that you have generalized basic understanding of some key ideas in regulation and financial economics and so on. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via email or in class when we meet on January 5th. Again, I'm hoping on January 5th to spend some time to just, you know, sort of quickly go over some of these questions so you have a, you know, a good summary of it. But looking forward to meeting you all, and hope you have an enjoyable holidays, Christmas and New Year's. And if you're you know, welcome to my class, and I hope you get started early so you don't have a stressful January. Talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye bye.